Welcome back, everybody, to the final day of the Gameshow League Season 1. I'm LDFB on the Summit. I'm joined here by Misery and Fogged, and we will be tri-casting. That's right, three-man cast. Navi versus Team Empire. Winner moves on to play NVMI. They just punched their ticket to the Grand Finals, taking down VP in a 2-1 affair. It was a fairly one-sided Game 3, but a pretty close series overall. And, well, with that said, boys, these two teams did face earlier in the tournament in a BO1, as all the teams did, and Empire took that best of one rather convincingly. And, well, with that being said, welcome in, Misery Fog. Glad to have you guys aboard.
How does Empire get like in every game?
I don't know, man. We've been seeing Lycan given away quite a few times this tournament, actually. Like, a surprising amount.
Empire has one of the highest win rates with Lycan, and they get it every time.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Misery?
Good morning.
I'm pretty good. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever.
Yeah, so what do you think, Misery? Why are teams giving away this Lycan every time to Team Empire?
I don't know. I mean, this time around is a Radiant Lycan, so it's a bit different, I suppose. I don't know. Like, the metagame is so strange, right? Because one game you think Lycan is super imba, the next game it's DP, the next game it's Tinker, and like all these heroes, they're super strong. It just depends on, like, there's counters to all of them. You know, you just need to know how you go up against it. But yeah.
At the end of the day, the Big Bad Wolf has been defeated. That is a fair point. Although the two heroes I've seen have the most success against him are the Razor and the Death Prophet. Like, as far as carries go, just leeching his damage, kiting him with the Ghost, but both of those heroes are banned out. One team did give away the Dire Lycan and beat him that way earlier this event.
Yeah, I think actually Navi had Lycan on Dire earlier and lost with it. So
yeah.
Maybe they think that it's not so strong right now, or...
Do you think these are the right heroes to punish the Lycan pick? Obviously, Void's pretty good because he can lock him down even through BKB or Shapeshift form. But,
I think it can work fine. I think it's more about the last three heroes and how they want to rotate around and how they want to play the early game.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. The only thing I'm worried about is, sure, yeah, Lycan's strong. Empire has a very high win with Lycan, but also they get one of their other heroes that they're the best with is Mag's Centaur. And he plays, I don't know, I've seen him do very interesting things even when he doesn't have so good of an offlane start. He just rotates toward mid at like level 1 and ganks their mid laner. I've seen him do it several times, so I like so far what Empire has, because just what they're in their comfort zone. But of course Navi does have, you know, Void Skywrath, which is just pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it's one of those combos that, like, you feel like you're winning the game, and then they both hit 6, and in a lot of cases they'll end up getting, like, not even just one kill, but potentially two. One with the Mystic Flare, and then the other just with the other nukes from Skywrath and a lucky bash or two. So definitely not a combo to sleep on. We'll now see Empire remove the Viper from the pool, so not wanting to deal with a kind of a tanky, annoying hero for the Lycan, also something that can really zone the Centaur out of lane. And looking at Navi, we have seen them run the Void both ways. I'd say more often than not it's Funnick in the off lane, but I have seen them played a few times for Havost. Lately, though, he's been more on, like, the Vengeful Spirit, these kind of mid-game oriented heroes, which has been ignored so far. It was banned out a few times versus Navi this tournament, especially when they're on Dire, but so far has been allowed. Also, we've seen FNG play a support Venge, so I'm curious if Navi are still thinking about that hero.
Yeah, I think, like, from what I've seen from Navi ever since the new roster, it's usually been this kind of dual roam aggression style that they have been putting out and having basically three solos with focus on offensive tri lane or mid mostly. So I think they will do the same.
So what's the best hero here? Like, there's Earthshaker, there's Venge. What would you go for as that second roamer?
I definitely think they're looking at Venge still. Considering there's Lycan, I don't even know, man. I think Venge, maybe the Sven. I think Sven support is up and coming.
Do you like Sven support? Do you think it's legit or not really?
I think if you make use of him the first 5-10 minutes the right way, I think he can be really strong because his stun is like no other support basically. it's so fast and so long range, and he's really tanky by nature. It has high right click damage. So he's very good at getting these early kills and very good at roaming. And at the same time, he gives armor to the whole team later on, and his stun does never like scale down or anything like that. It keeps being good because it's AOE, and he can also transition. So I think that hero is strong, but I haven't seen Navi run it before, so I don't know.
Yeah, they seem to like the slightly more glass cannon-y type supports, like the Venge Skyreth that we've been talking about. So, well, I wonder if they go that direction here. They get a gyrocopter, and I guess this is going to be Havost's hero. We've seen once in a while the support gyro, but doesn't seem too popular. And I guess if you're running the Void, it makes sense to have a carry that can really take advantage of the Chronosphere.
Yeah. Looking at the gyro now, I think they just want to put him safe lane and have him matched up against the Centaur. Maybe give him a little bit of help in the beginning. But Empire might do Centaur carry actually and put Lycan mid.
Yeah, that's a good point. And still Empire kind of leaving their options open with the Shadow Demon pick. We saw M5 went for an aggressive tri-lane Centaur the other day. I think it was M5. Maybe it was HR. One of those two. And didn't end up working out at all, but the hero does have a little flexibility, but more often than not we see him just getting the farm early on and rushing for the Blink Dagger, so...
We haven't seen any gyro supports lately, right? I hope not.
Yeah, I just brought that up, but I haven't seen one lately. I thought we might get one last game, but then it was a carry gyro, so...
Yeah, I don't... I mean, Havos is one of his core heroes, I think, is gyro.
But, yeah, do you guys remember that game at MLG Columbus versus... This was when DK made their first big Western LAN appearance, and Havos got the double rapiers.
That was one of the most entertaining games I've seen in such a long time.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, there's a thread on Reddit about top Dota games ever, and that was in the list of 30 or 40 games, and I would agree.
It's definitely up there.
It was
just
really entertaining.
He lost 2 rapiers. Oh, but he has another 2 in his stash. Come on, what else could you ask for?
Classic Havost. Man, what a player. I'll get the Dendi puck now. So once in a while we do see them run this core Scarth Mage for Dendi, but it's been less common lately, and I mean, I guess it's possible it could be Funnick on the puck, but I'm thinking now that it will be a Dendi puck.
Yeah, it's gonna be the 3 solos, and then they're gonna, depending on what Empire does, they're gonna go with the supports where they can do the most damage pretty much.
So what are the ideal lanes here for Navi? Do you want the gyro 1v1 against Centaur?
Like I said, I think it depends a lot on what Empire picks and how they predict the Empire lanes. Because gyro against Centaur is fine up there if they know that they can't rotate and kill the gyro. At the same time, right now it seems hard for Shadow Demon and Jakiro to move too much around because they're fairly slow heroes compared to Skywrath at least. So I think they might go offensive with the Void here and apply a lot of pressure and leave the gyro 1-on-1.
Okay, so we'd be looking at a puck mid, either against a Lycan or something that's still to be picked up. And what do you thoughts on this Jakiro pick? We've seen him be very effective for, I'd say, EG, the team that's used him the most recently. They ran a lot of dual lanes with the hero WEC. They used it to take towers early. They even ran it as a core. Is there any chance we see a core Jakiro this game, or is this going to be a support?
I don't think this will be a core. Honestly, this is one of my favorite combos. This Jakiro Lycan, you can take so many towers early on, and you can really you can end the game just because of that advantage of money and just map control because of those 2 heroes alone. You don't have, of course, the most damage and everything because Jakiro is, of course, you're maxing your Liquid Fire early, so you don't get the rest of the disabilities. But that Lycan Jakiro combo can really get you such a big snowball effect.
So we're looking at Empire just trying to focus on taking as many towers early on, just with Liquid Fire and the Wolves, you're thinking?
I mean, from what I've seen from Empire, I haven't really watched too much of this entire tournament. I've seen a couple of things, but from scrimming them and seeing the way that they play, for the most part, I think that we're going to see just, the shortly Lycan, Jakiro, and then Shadow Demon's probably going to be moving around on his own, trying to go for, just putting pressure on the lanes. So maybe we'll see, the Shadow Demon rotate toward the Centaur lane once he gets a couple levels on him. And they do, of course, I mean, if the Gyro's not too careful, he could actually get killed down as long as their Skywrath or the other supports on Navi aren't paying attention.
Yeah, the draft is taking shape for both teams, and the final bands come out now. We see a Wisp band out by Empire. It used to be a pretty popular partner for Gyro. I think DK was one of the teams that ran this the best, along with Alliance, and that was when I first saw MMY play Wisp in Dota 2. Well, since the TI2 days when he played when they were playing on Eho.
I think they're probably more scared of the Wisp Skyrath though, because that dual lane is just intolerable in mid lane, and they do end up going for a DK as for resolution.
So okay, yeah, we'll be
Very
a carry
push
Gyro
heavy.
here.
Super push heavy.
Yeah.
It's weird to see and Navi goes for picking a Treant Protector last pick after the Jakiros are even picked up, and Jakiro's kind of a natural type of counter for Treant.
As far as the living armor goes, you're saying?
Yeah, of course, the dots and everything, and of course for building damage as well. Because, Treant's one of those heroes that if you're going to take a tower, you got to take it right away, otherwise Tree is going to heal all the way, and Jakiro's one of those heroes that forces those tower pushes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's see. The other nice thing with this Dragon Knight is it's just a tanky hero, and I'm actually looking at this Empire lineup. I see 4 tanky heroes, Lycan, Centaur, Dragon Knight especially, even Jakiro fairly durable, and a good defensive support in Shadow Demon. So I'm a little bit worried for Navi that if they don't get like a excellent Chrono from Funnick, it could just be countered by just the raw HP, maybe some early BKBs, or even a good defensive disruption.
Yeah, for sure. The SD is going to have some pretty crucial positioning if it gets to that point, though, of course.
Well, and with that said, guys, the players have selected their heroes. We get underway now with Navi versus Empire, game number 1 of a best of 3. Let's run through our rosters. We've got FNG playing the Treant Protector for Navi. Navi are going to smoke. Vankscore on the Scarth Mage. It's not the Boots First tree build that we used to see all the time for PPD. Just some early sentries picked up for him. Havos will be playing your carry Gyrocopter. Dendy on his signature puck. They narrowly miss spotting out Mag because they make their rotation. Perhaps searching for someone to walk up this hill. They're going to wrap around. They're expecting him to come back up. Uh-oh. This looks bad for Mag. Leech Seed's ready, and he's going to get completely caught out. Now the Scarth Mage slow comes through. He gets off the Stomp on 2, but the Barrage finishes the job, and Navi score an easy first blood. Well, now we've got time to introduce Empire. Resolution on your Dragon Knight. He'll be going mid. Mag, the offlane Centaur that puts Silent onto the Lycanthrope. Solo, the Shadow Demon, and last but not least, always want to fly, will be playing the Jakiro. Funnick made his way all the way down bottom, dropped an Observer, and Empire actually didn't see this. They saw that the Observer's gone, it looks like, but didn't see where it got placed, and they missed on the first D-ward.
You can tell right there, Navi's been watching replays, because this is something Mag does a lot, the position that he was in. So Navi they knew how he was going to play, really, and they just took opportunity of and get the free kill right there. Something that used to happen a lot, actually, I used to play on Dignitas, and we'd play versus Navi. And Universe would go in his one spot, and Navi would always wrap around on him and kill him. So, seeing that was actually just like an awful memory.
Stay with me, Fog. Try to keep it together, buddy. Don't go emo on me now. But
Hurts,
yeah,
man,
so let's look at our lanes here. We've got a Puck mid versus Dragon Knight. Generally, we see this matchup go fine for the Puck until the Dragon Knight hits 6, and then normally Dragon Knights tend to struggle as they dive Mag top lane a bit. Couldn't get enraged for the Leech Seed though. So, not the most exciting matchup mid lane, and it's going to be an off-lane Void getting harassed by Always Want to Fly. With the Howl damage, when it's up, they can really trade effectively. But with Howl down, Funnick just starts chopping Always Want to Fly. They'll eat a tree and continue just right-clicking away. He's already skilled time walk.
Check mid lane, the courier is going to get sniped now.
Uh-oh. Will it? It's how can you
so
look at this?
big.
Oh, Skyra's got the move speed to run this down. 325. And that's the bottle. One more auto attack. Down she goes. Could it be a worse start for Empire?
Oh.
Courier down, bottle down, and the first blood. Guys,
Puck
this happened.
versus Dragon Knight.
This
Pretty
happened
rough
in the
without a
last
bottle.
game, NVMI versus VP, and they were actually down 3-0 with the first blood and the courier kill. It didn't carry a bottle though. That was the one difference, and they did win. So I'm just saying it could happen, but this does look pretty bad.
That's really rough for the Dragon Knight. He's gonna be extremely pressured in the way. I mean, overall, the way Dendy plays, he plays extremely aggressive, so he's going to be putting a ton of pressure on that Dragon Knight as far as the way he usually plays.
Yeah, Resolution has Howl damage, but he's a melee hero, so it's not going to help him too much here against the Puck in terms of harassment anyway.
Dendy loves his denies, so...
By the way, they failed on both D-ward attempts. This is really nice for Funnick.
Yeah, and I mean, in that bottom lane too, I mean, what kill potential do they really have on Funnick? there's no way that they can really kill him with those type of heroes that they have. He's gonna be able to get pretty free experience here, and
He doesn't give a fuck.
he doesn't give a shit.
This
honestly.
was without Bash, too. Like, if he had skilled Bash and he got lucky, he could have solo killed the Jakiro there. And Mag's been forced off to the Ancients. What else can possibly go wrong for Empire? FNG hunts him, and the Stomp's gonna miss. This will allow FNG to continue pursuit, and they're gonna lose the Centaur as well. It's an absolute travesty of a laning stage at this point, and I mean, what can possibly go worse? They've lost the off lane, they've lost mid, they gave up the first blood, they can't zone Funnick out of the lane. And Na'Vi have, I think, at least an equally strong late game if they get their farm up with the Void Gyro combination. This is not looking good. What do you do if you're Empire here?
I don't know. You just need to keep your cool and get the levels on your heroes, because you still have this mid game death ball. So you can definitely still come back in this game, but
it's hard not to
it
tilt
is the
when
best
this
start
happens.
possible for Na'Vi.
Yeah,
I'm just so worried for this like Dragon Knight. Like the puck's gonna be so. Dendy's completely free.
Yeah, resolution is 6-0. Dendy is 21-12. This is about as bad of a start as you could have. Normally you'd just be spamming your Breathe Fire and getting last hits that way. And Dendy gets aggressive here. He's level 5. He's got the level 2 Orb, the level 2 Silence. Not quite enough to get this kill on resolution, but enough to make him very sad. And this will set him up for the 4-minute rune as well. With the lane pushing in. And he'll have the double range creep here, and he'll be killing off this next wave fairly quickly. So,
I did like the idea of what Empire has so far, though. Like, they got the Lycan, and they knew that Na'Vi picked the Void right away. So they picked this Jakiro and everything to push the short lane, because Na'Vi's heroes don't really have the most outspam to react on that. But now, you know, Vanscore re-rotates, and yeah, Always Gonna Fly is gonna die.
No, defensive disruption will at least buy a little time here, but it ain't gonna save Always Wanna Fly. Funnick securing that kill, and I'll give it to the Void. Now Dendy pick up a haster, and maybe makes a jump on mid. Resolution's just a bit too healthy to dive. While FNG tries to keep the Centaur off the lane, and it's not just that they're doing well in the lanes, they're also setting up their mid game too, stacking the neutrals here. This will be a big stack for Havos to farm once he hits level 6 and gets a point and call down. So their economy's looking pretty good too. 2 of their cores farming well, and the third in a Void getting a kill. Yeah, 1 CS, but it's a Void. He doesn't need to farm that much anyway.
Yeah, he just needs that levels. And his building is, let's see, he's versus a Lycan, Jakiro, Shadow Demon, Charlene, and he has taken 0 damage on his building so far.
That will change eventually, but it's not. The push is not coming fast, and I think you're right in saying that's a big concern. Even worse, they might get dewarded here. They just dropped an observer under vision of a Na'Vi observer, and FNG sentries. Oh Jesus!
Oh god, yeah. The momentum is real.
Oh man, what a snowball this is!
The beginning of the end.
Can't they get a
But
break?
it's also
Like,
it's also
Jesus.
really hard for Empire to actually make something out of this, like make a movement that can help them get back into the game, because they have these supports they have. They don't really have any damage early on, and the lanes are already so crushed. You know, this DK, even when he gets 6, can they even kill the puck from full HP with these supports? I don't even think they can.
don't think so.
And with 3 armor as well, it's really hard for them. They don't even have boots on the supports. Jakiro doesn't, at least.
Look at this
Now they
Bash
bought a
Lord
smoke.
Phonic bottom lane. He gets a double bash on Silent. Then Dendy rotates in and just runs him over with the haster. And double bash will make that an easy kill. But when the safe lane Lycan's also dying and he's supposed to be the engine of your comeback, you really have to worry. And Mag's onto these neutrals again, but they know he's here. He'll go for a double damage rune. Vangscore will be there to greet him. He can't get the rune in time, but he's just going to start chasing Mag down. FNG arrives as well. He'll be dragon-tailed. Yeah. But Vangscore might get this kill anyway. He'll at least force out the South. Dendy orbing forward will cut off the path of retreat, and Na'Vi strike again. 5-0, pitching a perfect game. They lead by 4k gold, 3k experience, and all the momentum in the world. And they're even diving for resolution. Nah, no mana here to follow this up.
Just getting out of hand very quickly.
I
Yeah,
haven't
it
seen
is.
this one-sided of a start in a while, man.
Lycan's being, I mean, he's getting mostly free farm, but he's getting pressured a bit, and of course that death sets him back. While Havos is just like, what's up? Just farming. I got stacks too.
What a great game to be the gyrocopter. Easiest
He's
game
having,
of most
he's having the
life.
best time of his life.
Well, it's a best of 3, so the good news for the Empire fans is no matter how bad they lose this one, if they do, they still have a chance to come back in the next 2 games. But Na'Vi are definitely riding the momentum now. The other good piece of news, I suppose, is that Na'Vi don't really have a great Roche lineup. So even with this lead, it's not like they can snowball it quite as quickly as like if the Leica was on the Dire side.
They don't have a great Roche killing lineup, but they have a great Roche securing lineup, kind of.
That's true.
Everybody's gonna be. They're gonna be mostly full HP. You know, the tiny little area. Chrono plus Skywrath plus Gyro is pretty devastating.
At least Empire will have a chance to know it's coming, but can they stop it? That is the good question.
The problem is that this puck's gonna be enormous. He's gonna have a Blink Dagger in the next 2 minutes.
And they just have a lot of control as well. Like, it's not just the puck blink to worry about. It's the Chronosphere, which is about to come. He just hit level 6. You've got Skywrath Mage's ult once it's online. Vangscore only level 3 despite the early kills, just because he's been running around the map so much. But there's just a lot of lockdown for this team, and the burst damage to kill. I think Empire, if they get their core items, can live through that burst, but they're not getting them yet. Silent will finally pick up his Vlads, and when are we going to see that push? That's the question. Dragon form online. Is this where you just, like, should you just 3-4 man a tower, just try to get something, or can you not do that with Chrono up?
Now they're trying to smoke, but I definitely think they need to somehow get the supports of Empire into the game. They haven't really achieved anything. It's also something with the duo. It's gotta be really frustrating to play these two support heroes this game because of the early game. They might get the Gyro here, actually. This is a big kill.
Stomp from Magel followed up perfectly. Chainstun, double edge to secure it, and Vos bites the dust. He even had a lane ward, but not going to help him against the smoke. While meanwhile, bottom lane, this Void is getting aggressive on Silent. He already has Chronosphere. Now time walking out will barely live. The Wolves will hunt him, but he TP's out Funnick. The Wolf just a bit too slow to track him down. They did drop a Chrono for that one as Denny rotates in. But the supports get active Misery, and they do find their first tower, it looks like. Na'Vi might try to hold this one, but with no Chronosphere, Nova Overgrowth, and a dead Gyro, this is going to be tough to defend.
Jakiro Dragon Knight is quite obnoxious.
The triple dragon strat. It's real.
Yeah.
Triple.
Sure.
The twin-headed dragon, the regular Dragon Knight, man. Trying to fight this one out, but even with all the regular armor, it just doesn't help him against the magic damage that the Skywrath Mage brings to bear. It forces Resolution off the fight. Mag pursued out. One more auto attack from Havost would end him. No, that's not enough. Could he get the deny to the neutrals? Big plays for Mag. Sparing his team a bit, while Funnick, meanwhile, is pursuing solo mid. He's just going full YOLO mode, and he's got backup incoming. Dendy's here. Blink silence. He'll forward, send the orb out to retreat, but he does get stunned under tower. Still, Funnick finishes the job, and Resolution might be next. One bash will end him for sure. Ice Path trying to keep him alive for a time, but the time walk forward ends his life, and Dendy lives. He blinks out, Chaji away from the dual breath. Oh, what else can go wrong now?
He's got a blink now. Wow.
Yeah.
No, but the Stout Shield block up there for
you.
Mag was actually really nice, and then he ends up denying himself, so that was beautiful. But then Resolution porting mid was a little ambitious, and yeah, he ends up getting his life going down as well, and double kill coming up for Na'Vi. Very good for them.
Man, that Void who wasn't getting much farm is still finding his gold regardless. Picks up his treads up to 3k net worth, and we still haven't seen Navi's true potential. Like, we haven't seen a Chrono with the call down with Flat Cannon, the Skywrath Mage ultimate, but they're getting closer to that. Vangscore's still level 4, so he's a bit of a ways off, but aside from that, they've got all the ingredients for a really successful team fight. And there's a medallion on Silent, but it feels almost ambitious at this point. I have seen Silent go for Midas on Lycan. Is this a game where he considers going back for it, or are we just going to see treads here?
I highly doubt he would go Vlad's medallion into Midas. That sounds like pretty awful. Yeah, but I mean, the main problem for Empire right now is that they're so under-leveled as well. I mean, if they could force some towers and get some gold that way, it would be a comeback that way. But like, Centaur is not 6, Twin-Head Dragon is not 6. At the same time, Void is like level 9 and Puck is level 11.
Yeah, they're down by 5,000 experience.
Yeah, it's really tough right now for them.
And we're 11 minutes in. This couldn't be too much worse. And
They had like a triple stack or so at their big camp, and they just got Centaur to level 6 though at least, so it's good.
Yeah.
Almost Blink Dagger too, 700 gold or so. Not too bad. I mean, it's 9-1, so you'd think it'd be a little bit worse.
Yeah, actually, Vangscore is on level 4 on Skywrath.
Yeah, and Shadow Demon's level 6 already.
That's quite
so
surprising, actually, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, he was roaming a lot. He was level 3 like 5 minutes ago, though, and has hardly gotten any experience since then.
Yeah.
But he's certainly set up his team for success, and, well, there will be a TPN from the Void. Maybe they rotate to try and kill off Resolution here. Chronosphere is online. They're not fully committing to this top push. Seems like Na'Vi don't want to do tower trades against the Lycan, as they both race for a bottom rune, which Funnick will time walk in to grab. It's only a regen, but just further frustration for Resolution. And they've almost got a BKB on Havost. Empire don't really have much to deal with this, just Lycan right clicks. Well, Resolution coming in. If he can get a Dragon Tail here on Dendi, could be trouble, but although the Wolves cancel the blink, you can't get close enough for that, and Resolution will just try to apply a little bit of pressure to this tier 1 mid, chipping it down slowly. They now rotate 4 heroes towards the top lane for Empire, perhaps expecting a Na'Vi offensive in this department, but it's not coming. Funnick's pushing the bottom lane. The rest of Na'Vi is just free farming in the jungle, and Empire's, their economy's suffering during this time. Are they going to go for something? They still don't have that blink.
Freely to pressure bottom lane too. Like, he's just pushing into that tower constantly right now.
They're scouting with Wolves. Spots out FNG. Always want to fly now. Drops an Observer Ward. And do they go in on this? I don't know. This is going to be tough. Funnick is ready with the TP scroll. And Dendi's also joined the lane. I don't think Dendi was spotted yet, because that Observer Ward just behind the tower. But the Wolves may scout him out in a second. Now he shows himself in the lane. And Funnick will go in bottom lane. Just time walks on a Resolution. Nowhere near being able to kill him, but it's just the level of aggression that Na'Vi feel comfortable exhibiting at this point. Just trying to show off his dominance in this lane.
Just throwing those bluffs.
Yeah, it's like, I swear there's a Scarith with ult right behind me. Oh wait, he's not even level 6 yet. Chronosphere is there, does isolate 2 heroes on the periphery of it, but where's the backup for this? Call down coming, will hit once. The second time around, not successful, and Empire make their way out. So, not quite the right timing for that Chrono. Let's see if Empire can punish it.
Not so bad. Force a Stampede out.
Medallion's then thrown on the Dendi, and Silent is chasing him out with the puck on the way out. But no way he can kill this puck off alone.
Lycan Wolves are so obnoxious.
You really don't like that hero.
I don't know. Whatever, man. No comment.
You gotta have some comment, man.
That hero can't... I don't know. That hero is so strong. Maybe not so much on Radiant, but overall I think that hero is still extremely powerful.
You remember when everyone forgot Lycan existed for like 4 months? And then suddenly rediscovered it?
I wish that we were back.
Yeah, back in the dark days. Could be worse. It could be,
I think Misery might have dropped out, seems like.
Okay.
I don't hear any breathing.
His Skype is lagging, it says. So.
Yeah, it says he's lagging. Okay. Whatever. I think I'm lagging too. Apparently I'm a robot, but that's okay. Might be Darth Vader status.
You guys need
Advanced scoreboarding top.
Silent trying to TP out. Gets caught by a coil. Can they stop this? Overgrowth is ready. FNG was mid-cast animation. Won't actually use it. And then Empire uses this opportunity to push in the mid lane. There's no Chrono for 30. Dendi tried to defend this one whole orb, but without a coil, it'll be tough to defend. They'll try though. Nightscore getting Dragon Tail. Resolution charging forward, but they've now gotten caught in the cooldown, and they'll need to Stampede to dodge most of this damage, which they do. Then Havost BKB is perfectly timed as Mag looks for the double edge. Not gonna happen. Now the Overgrowth and Always Want to Fly. The Trace the other way. Havost baits them in and then starts cleaning them up. Funnick no mana to time walk in, and it is cooling down, so the aggression ends here for now, but they've got a Chronosphere.
Such an early BKB.
Alright, we've got his breathing back.
Oh, I'm back, finally. I don't know. Just happened.
Uh-oh. Funnick jumping in, he's got Chrono. Deploys it on 2, but Havost gets clipped on the side of it. Resolution didn't get caught. Oh, an ill-advised jump in from Na'Vi, and it cost Mr. Havost his life. That was a ballsy maneuver with no BKB.
And a deny. That's pretty big, actually. They just got a ton of experience from that. And now they get a momentum swift. They should be able to get this tier 1 tower quite easily.
Yeah, Living Armor is not going to help you here. Even without the Jakiro joining them yet, like, they can still just chew it up with the Lycan. Maybe they even go top for another tower. They know Chrono's down for 70 seconds.
Honestly, if they get this tier 1 top tower, it's pretty big for them in my opinion, because then they get quite a large access to Navi's jungle.
Yeah, I mean, if they get this mid tower, I mean, top tower, they're actually somewhat fine in the game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
the biggest problem for them will be the Void, I would say. Like, this BKB, since it's so early, that also means it's going to be really low the longer the game goes. faster. So they will have book 3 and Lycan and stuff, so they can actually hit a timing that would be really hard for Navi to deal with.
And this tower is dead for sure too. This is very good for Empire, even though it's 3 to 11.
And the biggest worry is going to be if they ever whiff a chrono. If they misuse the chrono, Empire might even just break the base at like 25 minutes in. And they'll take the tier 1 top lane. The trade's
Looks like
attempted
Empire's
by
going.
Navi.
They're still going. Empire's going tier 2. They should too.
Chrono up in 15.
Reaction.
Well, if Navi want to trade, the problem is they're not going to take this tower bottom particularly quickly. So they may just have to decide, do they want to take the fight top or the tower bottom? And it looks like they want the fight top as Funnick is ice skating forward. He'll get disrupted for his efforts as Resolution continues to chip away. They do finish off the tower bottom lane, but the tower also dropping low top. Empire, Resolution gonna have to back off here. And Dendy blinks it, he gets the coil off. Now the chrono follow-up can be thrown out, but it's only catching out one hero. Solo's able to just, well, technically he's kind of caught because he's stuck on the north side. And Avos with a BKB deals them as much damage as he can, but it's just not enough. Resolution's too tanky. Funnick might even go down here. Scarth Major not gonna connect. And it looks like in the end they will lose Havos. They may lose Vangscore as well. Silent pursues him out. The Lycanthrope doing too much work with Stampede. Navi, despite the early start, they lose the team fight. They lose the tower. And what else are they going to lose on the back of this? At least they're pushing top, so Empire can't just walk into the Roche pit. Man, with the start they had, if this game turns against them, that just shows you the power of the Wolf.
Yep. They're just, I mean, now they're just getting, they're getting so much money and just so much map control from all this. They didn't end up, they actually did not, I thought Empire would ward the enemy jungle, but they actually didn't yet so far, which is a little strange. But either way, they're perfectly fine with this. They go back, they get these towers, and now they're just going to go back and farm up.
Lycan has book 3 now. 18 minutes.
And Funnick's trying to solo Roche with just Mask minus Dreads. I don't think that's going to go so well.
He's got a little help here from Avos, but Gyro also not a great hero to kill Roche. And you look at Navi, they do have a medallion. This is their one tool to take it out quickly. Do Empire realize they're not moving in towards the pit? This would be a good
it looks
time
like they're
fight.
going to get this.
Like, there's no chrono for 15. Potentially Empire could at least slow this down, but it's not going to matter. Navi will. They'll snag a much-needed Roshan. The Wolf just a bit too late.
Good seize of opportunity.
Oh
and now,
my god,
Oh,
3 and
really?
20 ages. What?
FNG? Oh my goodness.
I thought that was a misclick.
Definitely.
I hope it was. Oh, 3-hero coil! Nicely done by Dendy. Funnick gets off the Chronosphere, but he's just running around in circles because of that defensive disruption on Maggie. Couldn't do much. Resolution now BKBing, and FNG, he'll lose his first stage just quickly. Silent, trying to chase out Dendy, who was phase shift. They get the Dragon Tail, they get the kill, and now they run towards the north, searching for a Vost and Vangscore on the retreat out. The Aegis didn't end up going down there, so they at least hold on to that one, but a few munches here would kill off Vangscore. Unfortunately, the Lycan ult ends. But Book 3's in position to siege this tower mid. And they know the ults are down, so I think if you're Empire, you just push this one in.
Yeah, and even though Puck had such a great start over the DK, DK versus Puck is an incredible matchup, because once you get about even with that Puck, he's free frags for you. One stun, he's dead, basically. And now, another tower goes down. And yeah, this game is quickly turning into Empire's favor, and now we see Solo go down, at least over Funnick.
Nicely done by Funnick. Just kind of kite him, but if he gets Dragon Tailed here, he'll die as well. Doesn't, though. Just time walks out in the nick of time. But for Empire, the big thing is they're taking objectives when they win these fights. Navi, they took an objective in the Roche and then immediately lost the next fight. They just lack... It feels like they lack damage at this point, honestly, against...
I don't know, Navi can't really teamfight Empire at all. If Empire is a 5 and they have good positions on their heroes, then... and they have Chrono, they have Gyro ult, they have Puck and stuff, but it doesn't seem like they have enough damage to kill anyone in time. Like, compared to Empire that has this Book 3 and BKB and Dragon Knight and Centaur Ultimate and stuff, they have so much, like, instant, like, really fast damage, whereas Navi will just die before they can, like, get the damage out they need.
Hey, by the way, Yannis, I think your mic is muted in Dota TV.
That's what someone's telling me. I'm gonna go check that, because I think I'm just robot and it's not going through. I'll be right back 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, you were robot earlier, but you're okay now. Sorry, guys, to apologize for those who bought the ticket. We'll try and get it sorted out. I just got a notification on Skype. But meanwhile, bottom lane. Funnick jump in. He'll catch out two here. It's Resolution and Silent. He's pounding into the Lycan, and the Scarth Mage. It's enough to follow this one up, get the kill. Now Resolution trapped by the follow-up from the Treant, but he immediately BKBs and turns to fight this Mag with his ultimate, trying to retreat out. Well, Resolution surges forward, but without the Lycan, they don't have damage. Empire forced to TP out, abandoned ship, they'll lose 3. A bloody mess for them in the bottom lane is always want to fly. The lone survivor, aside from the Dragon Knight who already escaped, will be forced out as well. Yeah, without Lycan, they're not very scary. Empire just lost him immediately.
Yeah, the problem was there that the Shadow Demon was not in position to disrupt the Lycan. If he had gotten disruption off there, that would have been a big turnaround.
Yeah,
Because they basically blew everything on the Lycan there. If he was put under right as the Scarab ult hit, then it would just probably get wiped the other way around.
yeah, he would have popped the Book 3, the Howl, and
Yeah.
fight could have turned very easily. And they are trying to make something out of this. Stampede is cooling down. Host in a headlong retreat in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, FNG's gone invis. FNG though has the has the Necro 3 onto FNG, and he's hunting him. There's no running here. This is the Aegis carry. They're gonna lose their tree twice, I think. Can they get a crit or two to bring him down fast? No, not even needed with the Centaur jumping in. Double edge to jam it home. Now they'll follow up with a stomp. Ice Path is prepping, and Dendy actually tries to fight this one. He's gonna probably cost himself his life. Retreats to the north, but extremely low through the Demonic Purge. Nearly brought down just by that. The poison still tracking him. It's 2 stacks. He might need a third. It's gonna be close. Dendy, I don't think he'll pop from this. In fact, turns on Solo, and he phase shifts. And now the Chrono. Now the follow-up from Funnick. Gets trapped into Silent and always want to fly. Resolution just waiting for this Chrono to end patiently. And still no ultimate available for the Dragon Knight. Now coiled. He'll BKB. Funnick turning on Silent, but with the BKB for Resolution, and the Wolf's going to work. They'll finish off the Hammerhead Shark Void. No, maybe not. He barely makes it in the trees. He's going to end up living. Escapes out. And the Dragon Knight is the lone survivor. It's 2 bad fights in a row for Empire. And it seems the Aegis on the tree actually ends up being perfect bait for Na'Vi. What a mess.
Yeah. But the fights are never, like, the last 2 fights hasn't really been on Empire's terms, though. They have already, like, first the Lycan died before you could get anything off, and now they start chasing, like, basically throughout half of the map to get a treant with Aegis. Then it ends up being Lycan without ult fighting, man fighting a void without support and stuff, so it's... I'm still surprised to see what's gonna happen when Empire still, again, starts 5-manning. Because Host is not really getting bigger, to be honest. Puck has a Hex now, but Void is getting items, but Host is not really getting much more.
Yeah, the Void is picked up on Maelstrom.
His PKP is already down to 5 seconds.
we're only 25 minutes in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's really scary with this early BKB, to be honest.
He's getting nervous now, Havost is. He retreats all the way out with the Alpha Wolf tailing him, his loyal servant during these tough times. Yeah, back to the base for Havost. He's been caught a few too many, and he's been burned too much. So they'll rotate top instead, looking for Dendy, but he will be much more elusive prey. That's the blink ready. Can orb this lane, silence, and then push it out. Oh, if he sticks around a bit longer, this could go poorly. Gets purged, and he tries to orb up to the high ground. Oh, that's not where you want to be, Denny. Even Hex's Resolution then coils him, and the Stampede, he broke the coil before BKBing, so it's not going to be enough. Maybe this Ice Path will catch him out. Disruption's ready. Dendy phase shifting. Can he still escape? No chance. He does it. What a magician. Then turns and wants to go back in. Empire have committed too much for this puck, and they might lose Always Want to Fly here. The Dragon Knight will go, or the Twin-Headed Dragon will go down. One of the many dragons in this game. And now Solo's got to run. But Denny with the DD rune, he jumps forward for Solo, searching for this additional kill. And he will get it even through this disruption. No way Solo makes it out. That's a double for Dendy, effectively causing 2 kills. And Na'Vi, they just keep on pushing in mid. Man, what a disastrous engagement once again.
It's so strange. That engagement seemed like Dendy made a mistake and would actually die because he didn't see them, but it actually turned out him getting a double kill. And meanwhile, Lycan solo killing a Void, like down bottom lane. I didn't see what happened, just that it did happen.
Yeah, I just saw him like, his HP is incredibly low. I was too busy marveling at Dendy's antics. Speaking of which, goes in mid again for Resolution. The Scarlet Mage ult is there to follow it up, and before Resolution can even blink, he's back to the well.
It's a big kill.
Na'Vi are just outplayed Empire at this point. There's really no other way to put it. Fantastic individual plays.
Vanguard ends up going for this Treads build as well into mech on the Skywrath Mage, which we don't see too often.
Hey, someone's got to build the mech.
I've seen him do it actually. He's one of the few that's done this mech build ASAP a few times.
And I think Na'Vi appreciate the additional team fight. Like, they are up, as well as these fights have gone, if Empire execute well, if they are able to get the disruption inside of Chronosphere, if they get their BKBs off before they can burst someone down with Mystic Flare, then it's going to be a tougher fight for them. So getting something like a mech may be exactly what they need to sustain and turn a prolonged team fight.
Yeah, Mac has also been working for this on this mech for like 10-15 minutes. He's level 9, I don't know. He's a bit sad right now.
This is a sad Lycan as well, bottom lane. He didn't BKB, he's trapped in the Chrono, and he's about to break it. Oh, Skywrath Mage ult again. It's getting to that point of the game where Lycan ain't having as much fun anymore. Like, they've just lost too many fights. 2 heroes can kill him inside of a Chrono, pretty much guaranteed.
I DC'd, came back, and the game changed.
Yeah, this is a really very strange game actually.
Yeah, maybe you should disconnect and reconnect again. See what kind of a game we get.
No, I mean, I was watching and I thought Empire was... It seemed that they were getting a lot of map control, they were taking the right proper fights, and now, I mean, I came back and it's like Na'Vi got, it looks like 8 or 9 kills in a row.
Yeah, they've been winning every fight. And it's getting to that point where every time they jump with the puck or the Chrono, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, and Havosta's getting dangerously farmed. Dendi has already been insanely farmed. I mean, he has a sheep stick and everything with a Blink Dagger and 2,400 gold at 28 minutes. So he's got that instant disable, which is quite necessary so those other Empire cores don't get their BKBs off.
And now they go for Roche. They've got the Alpha Wolf here to give them... Oh, no more Alpha Wolf. Not needed, though, in the end, I suppose. As they still have a fairly farmed Void and Gyro to do the damage needed. And they'll take an Aegis before Empire even get here. In fact, Empire might arrive at the exact wrong time. Smoked up, and if there's a bash or two more, Aegis claimed in time. So Empire, if they want to walk into this, know what they're walking into. They won't get completely caught off guard. And they're scouting with the Wolf. One Wolf up near the bottom lane, trying to give them a bit of vision as they look to make their jump in. And they'll do it now. With the Centaur blinking forward, Havosta's able to BKB in time. Then the Overgrowth comes, holding Silent in position while Havost dishes out as much damage as possible. But Resolution looks like he'll get the first kill, bringing down the Treant Protector. Silent did BKB and is able to chase, and they're just waiting for these BKBs to end. Where's Funnick? He's looking for a good opening to jump in. The Ice Path whiffs, and now they're in too far. The Chronosphere catches out 3. Funnick, he bided his time, cleans up 1, but maybe it's not enough. They're just forced back, it looks like. Even in the 4v3 scenario, reluctant to commit too much to this. Do they get anyone else? Silent and Mag both retreating out. No? A couple bashes and Silent will be done for. First hit bash, then the follow-up auto attack. Silent, no ult for 3 seconds time. Hexed, and he's going down. So make it a 3-for-1 exchange, only losing the Treant Protector, and once again the Lycan dies. Now 6 deaths in 30 minutes.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Mag do this bad on Centaur. He's 2-9. It's incredible to see him with that many deaths.
He's so under-leveled as well.
Yeah, level 10 at 30 minutes. Like, you compare that to Dendi's Puck, he's 19. The enemy offlane Void is 17. That's a 7-level discrepancy between the two offlaners.
Probably just died every fight without getting experience for any kills. At the same time, they only have 11 kills, so it's
not much experience to go around.
Yeah.
And they'll take another tower bottom lane. Na'Vi, after what looked like an amazing start, suddenly it looked like the game was falling apart to the Lycan and the Death Ball, and then they just pulled out the old magic and turned this one back around.
Too bad it's not a rapier for Gyro.
Havost, you disappoint me. Where's the old Havost gone?
Sad face.
There's still time for him to build one later, though. Let's not give up on Havost just yet.
FNG's got control of his team.
He's pretty young, isn't he, FNG? It's like 18 or 19?
I think so, yeah.
Pretty sure.
Good player.
Yeah, but it's always cool to see like a younger, like, same thing with Vici Gaming. FY obviously has a little more experience on the super big stage after TI, but he's pretty much leading Vici Gaming now with the drafts and a lot of the endgame calls, so he's really taken the mantle nicely. It's always cool to see that kind of development from a player. And Na'Vi will push in mid. feeling pretty comfortable with their lead, while simultaneously Vangskor and Dendi wrap around bottom lane, and this could be another death for Silent. If he gets hexed and they hit the Scarth Mage ult, he's going down. Blink in, hex to start, concussive shot to follow, then they silence him, amplifying the damage of that Mystic Flare and secure the kill. Havost does get purged mid, but he'll BKB and turn this one. The Chronosphere's there. Havost not auto-tagging anything during the Chrono, that's okay. Funnick will just get 2 solo kills. Doesn't even need the support. As they chase out Mag, another bash would be his death. They've got a Time Walk ready to go on Funnick, but not gonna bother. We'll take the tower instead.
When you see an Offlane Void,
all over for
these
Empire.
items and levels, it's so hard to deal with it, honestly. Like,
they're just not tanky enough. Like, if they had one more big item on every core, maybe they could survive these Chronos, but they're not tanky enough.
he's basically the one at this point. I mean, he's 9-1 and 8. He's got his treads, BKB, Maelstrom, Mask of Madness. He's doing way more damage than Havost is in these team fights.
He's also not afraid, because he's a Void with a BKB, whereas Havost has to be careful about what he goes in.
Yep.
Centaur stomp onto Vangskor, and then Resolution tries to turn, but it just seems like it might be too late. Overgrowth to follow this up. Mag and Resolution both trapped and being chased out a bit. Havost, though, does get caught in the Macro Pyre, and Na'Vi seeing the buyback on the Centaur. I don't know if they really need to retreat, but they may play it safe and try. Havost is going to give up his Aegis here. And Na'Vi engaged on the back of this. 13 seconds on that Chrono. Resolution prepping for a stun. And the stomp is there, but Havost manages to BKB dodge it, and then turns on Mag and goes aggressively after him. Lycan chasing him. There's an Ethereal Blade up and Dendi to keep Havost alive. It's kiting the Lycan beautifully. Silent now will break the coil. He's stunned up again, and this forces out a Stampede as Silent continues to play right around the Rosie with Havost. Finally, they'll get the kill. FNG will be next. And it looks like at long last, Empire will start to find some openings. They kill off 3 Na'Vi heroes. Now hunting Dendi to the south, but he's just stalling for his team. He'll dodge away from the ice path, orbiting across the ravine, and will TP out successfully. Man, that took a lot for Empire to finally have the slightest ray of hope.
But still not much.
Yeah. 3-2-2? Question mark.
I think they need 1 or 2 more fights like that for the 3-2-2 to kick in.
Yeah, one more, and we have AC on Lycan or something, and then it's
They have
hard
AC
again.
on Dragonite almost.
Really? I think they need.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they need like 3 or 4 more of those, maybe more. I mean, to be fair,
It depends on where the lanes are, right? Like, if Lycan and Dragonite are at the base when they have a bad fight, it could just be 2 lanes of Rax.
I think Empire has enough damage. It just comes down to if they can. It's about this Chrono, you know. If the Chrono hits on 3 or 4 people like they did in the past, and they're not ready for it, then they're gonna lose the fight, like 100%. But
Yeah,
if they jump on the Void and kill the Void before BKB, then all of a sudden Na'Vi don't have that much to deal with, to go with.
I just don't really with Dendi having the Ethereal Blade as well. I just don't see how the hell they can kill this Void. Like, he can do so much to counter initiate with these team fights. He's so farmed. They have so many buybacks.
Look how
feel
scared
I
Silent
don't know.
is, by the way. Just
Yeah,
popped
no, he
his
can't
ult
even
and started
farm.
running.
Well, he died 2 times alone down there, so maybe he thinks, okay, I gotta get out
He's
of here
gotta
now.
be it.
Alright, this time I'll learn my lesson. And it's not 1 Ethereal Blade, it's now 2. As Vangskor will pick one up as well. So it's a Scarith Mage that can run around the map, basically solo killing at least the 2 supports on Empire. I think can kill the Centaur as well with the full Mystic Flare and the follow-up damage from the Silence. And that's not
Yeah,
even counting
probably.
the defensive capabilities that you guys mentioned. This will kite the Lycan quite nicely.
This 5-man smoke from Empire could be really big for them. Like, this is a really important moment for them, I think. If they can get a good fight here.
They're going to reveal Silent mid. We'll start chopping away on creeps. And Na'Vi are just chilling outside the Roche pit, safely up the hill, in position to potentially go on solo if they need to, but it's actually going to back up.
Alright. That was a smoke.
Yeah, that one didn't work. Can they contest the next Roshan? That's the
Just-
question.
I'm just looking at Empire's wards right now. Look at this. They're all in the same like middle area.
And they should
Pretty
probably
funny.
take a fight around mid lane right now.
Good place to get some vision and maybe the jump on Na'Vi.
I'm actually surprised to see Na'Vi not picking up a gem just yet to get rid of all this. Oh, they do have a gem actually on Skywrath.
Treant bought one earlier.
Okay, yeah, gave it to
Skywrath, I
Skywrath.
think.
Okay.
They should be finding these wards soon. If they win a fight, then Empire will be completely in the dark. And they're dropping down a lot of detection here. Just want to make sure that they're not lane warded. They know how quickly Na'Vi can jump them and run them over. And they're just playing it safe. Well, how are you guys feeling about Empire's chances right now? Like, is it just it all it takes is one good chrono? Obviously, they're in trouble then, but even if they dodge the chrono, you still think they can take the fight?
I think they can. I mean, they have so much damage in Lycan and Dragonite, so they still need Navi still need to hit their spells. It's not still just not a walkover. I mean, sure, Gyro has his butterfly and stuff now, but he's still very squishy, to be honest.
Yeah, doesn't have the Satanic yet.
I mean, even Phonic, he is so squishy when he pops this Mask of Madness to Lycan. It's like 3 or 4 right clicks. Even if he crits, even less. Then this Void dies. And then the whole fight turns.
If Navi has like decent positioning, I feel like the fight's gonna be extremely easy for them though. Because I mean, Havos he's pretty tanky even with that butterfly. Sure, he has really little HP, but of course butterfly, and then the Void with the counter initiate and Treant. Treant is really gonna mess up Empire's damage potential.
Yeah, Puck and Treant have a really important role now. I mean, obviously Puck, he's so fat right now. He also I think he's going Shivas now. Yeah, it looks like a Shivas.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So he's actually like basically unkillable at this point.
We're gonna have that Roche standoff. Solo waiting as far back as possible. Does not want to get caught by Phoenix Chrono. And Navi don't have a ton of vision up this hill, but they'll use homing missiles to get a bit. And Resolution will get plinked by one. Not sure if Navi really want to jump him. They want to get some easier lower hanging fruit. And still both teams waiting for the rush. Mid lane about even. FNG gonna smoke his team. And now they move out. They're giving them the wraparound. And they leave one hero.
Dendy picks up the Shivas at the same time too. Dendy is just enormous.
He's almost as farmed as his Gyro. Oh, they get the Dragon Tail and Phonic to start this, but is there follow-up? BKB now pop, and Phonic will get held in position by a stun for Mag, but he BKBs and he Chronos 3, and he's gonna look to turn this one. The defensive disruption is there to keep one alive, so Solo's the target instead. Phonic wants to let out his frustrations on the Shadow Demon, will kill him off. They lose the Lycanthrope during the Chrono. 4 heroes fall, and GG. Well played. It just took one Chrono. And that's all she wrote.
Realized. Yeah, he played on Skyra too, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, it's too much counter initiation. There's like at that point Empire is very physical heavy, like very physical dependent, and these Death Blades plus the Chrono and all these counter initiations, they're lacking way too much damage.
Yeah, they don't want to fight like in an open area like that. It's too easy to just like kite them around, kite the Lycan around, kite the Centaur and stuff, and then get the spells that you need. If they would sit in base and Navi would try to go high ground, it's a little bit of a different story, but yeah,
Lycan,
it was a
bad
hard
hero.
game.
Don't ban Lycan, bad hero.
Yeah, what a shit hero.
Apparently, the hero has a pretty bad win rate at this tournament, considering how highly he's valued by most teams. Well, guys, that wraps up Game 1. This is a best of 3. Empire, they'll have their shot to bounce back. They'll need to take 2 in a row. Winner of this series will move on to face NVMI. Goblak and company are waiting in the grand finals of the Gameshow Dota 2 League. I'm LD. I was joined here for the first game by Fogged at FoggedDota and Misery at MiseryDota. You can follow them both on Twitter. We'll take a very quick break, then we'll return for Game 2. Stay tuned, guys. You're watching Beyond the Summit.